Twizzlers, Pull and Peel Math from Simple Shapes to Geometry by Jerry Palaiotta. Simple shapes. Here are some simple shapes: triangle, square, circle, rectangle. How did we make these simple shapes? And what will help us make many other shapes? We need to learn about points, lines, and angles. So let's go! Start with a package of Twizzlers, Pull and Peel candy. Cherry flavor will be fine. Open it and pull out one piece. It comes in a cable with 9 strands. Pull off one strand. Don't eat it yet. We will use it later as an example of a straight line. Plane. We need a place to put the points, the lines, and the angles. We need a plane. No, not an airplane. In math, a plane is a flat or level surface. Pretend this page is not a sheet of paper. Instead, imagine it is a level plane. Point. Now we'll draw a dot. We will call it a point in space. This point is not in outer space. It is on our level plane. Then we'll draw another point. Line. Now it's time to make a straight line. Place a strand of Twizzlers Pull and Peel candy between the 2 points. This is called a line segment. More lines. A line that goes on forever from one point is called a ray. A line that goes on forever in both directions is called a line. When 2 lines on the same plane cross each other, they make a point. Angle. Now let's draw some angles. When 2 rays meet at a common point, they form an angle. Wide angles are called obtuse angles. Skinny angles are called acute angles. Straight angle. A straight line is also known as a straight angle. We are learning geometry. Geometry is the study of planes, points, lines, angles, and shapes. Parallel. 2 lines that line in the same plane and do not touch each other are called parallel lines. Here are some. Use your imagination and think of other parallel lines. How about train tracks? How about the lined paper in your notebooks? Or the lines on a football field? Right angle. A 90-degree angle is called a right angle. The corner of your book is a right angle. We will learn about degrees later. Square. Remember the simple shapes at the beginning of this book. Now that you know about parallel lines and right angles, you can make a square. A square is a 4-sided shape. It has 4 line segments of equal length and 4 right angles. The opposite sides of a square are parallel. Perpendicular. When 2 lines are at a 90-degree angle, they are called perpendicular to each other. Look out! Can you find perpendicular lines in your neighborhood? Perpendicular is a good word to know for a spelling bee. Rectangle. A rectangle is a shape that has 4 right angles and 4 sides. Opposite sides are parallel and have the same length. The perpendicular sides are a different length. Perimeter. Here is a new term. Perimeter. It is the distance around a shape. If each shape of a square is 2 inches long, the perimeter is 8 inches long. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 8. The rectangle, 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 equals the perimeter. On the triangle, it's A plus B plus C. Formula. There's a formula for finding the perimeter of a shape. Count the sides, measure the length of each side, then add up the lengths of all the sides. This rectangle is 5 inches long and 2 inches wide. 2 plus 5 plus 2 plus 5 equals 14. 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 equals 12. Area. We measure a line by its length. We do not measure the size of a shape. It is measured in square area. This square is 2 inches long and 2 inches wide. Formula. There's a formula for finding the square area of a shape. Length times width, square area. This is not a secret formula. Measure the length, measure the width. Length times width equals square area. Here is a rectangle. It is 4 inches long and 3 inches wide. What is the size of the square of this previous page? 2 times 2 equals 4 square inches. We, right now, will just count the squares. Triangle. Now let's make another simple shape. A triangle is made with 3 lines and 3 angles. This triangle is an equilateral triangle. It has 3 sides that are equal in length. Here are some other triangles. A triangle with 2 equal sides is called an isosceles triangle. A triangle with no equal sides is called a scalene triangle. Vertex. What did one vertex say to the other ray? What did one ray say to the other ray? Let's meet. Where they meet is called the vertex. The point where the 2 rays meet is called the vertex. Circle. Let's make another simple shape. Draw a point. Now put a curved line around the point. If the distance between the center point and another point on the curved line is the same, then this shape is a circle. Here are some more circles. One of them is squished, but there is no such thing as a squished circle. A squished circle is called an oval. Circumference. The distance around a circle is called a circumference. Here are some more terms to learn about circle: center, radius, diameter, and core. The shortest distance between the center point and the circumference is called the radius. Using a straight line, the distance from the one point of the circle through the center point is another point of the circle called the diameter. A line between the 2 points on the circle that does not go through the center point is called a core. Degrees. We can divide a circle into 360 degrees. We call these points degrees. We can divide a circle into 360 equal points. We call these points degrees. You can measure an angle by its degrees. The size of an angle is measured by the degrees between the two rays. This is how you write a degree symbol. It is a tiny circle put next to the mount of the angle. Protractor. How do you know the size of an angle? You can measure it. The tool that is used to measure an angle is called a protractor. Angles that are less than 90 degrees are acute angles. Angles that are greater than 90 degrees are obtuse angles. Cube. When studying geometry, we also learn about solid shapes. They have 3 dimensions: length, width, and height. A cube has 6 flat sides. Each side is the same size. Each side is a square. All edges have the same length. The angles are at right angles. Sphere. A sphere is a 3-dimensional circle. It is easy to think of spheres that really exist. There are baseballs, basketballs, gumballs, the earth, and the moon. Can you think of other spheres? Pyramids. This pyramid is made with a square at the base and 4 triangles. Take a close look at it. We can make other pyramids with a triangle as a base and 3 triangles as sides. A pentagon could also be the base of a pyramid. The famous Egyptian pyramids are made with square bases. Cone. A cone is a 3-dimensional shape that has a circle for a base. It has a curved surface that rises up to one sharp point, the vertex. The most common cone is an ice cream cone. Traffic cones block off cars from road repair work. What other cones can you think of? Prism. A prism is a solid shape that has parallel ends that are the same size and shape. This prism has a triangle on each end. Between the parallel triangles, there are rectangles. Glass prisms bend light and make rainbows. The pink prism is a rectangular prism. From now on, when looking at shapes, you can think of math and geometry. The shapes are made of points, lines, and angles. You can look for parts that are parallel and perpendicular. Shapes can be measured by length, width, height, perimeter, and area. Cylinder. Geometry is all around us. Here are 8 cylinders. Don't just look at these cylinders, think of them mathematically. Do you see a circle? Are there right angles? Can you find the diameter of each circle? Dimension. Do you remember the difference between lines, simple shapes, and solid shapes? This is a line segment. It is 1 dimension length. It is 1-dimensional. This is a rectangle. It has 2 dimensions, length and width. It is 2-dimensional. This is a cube. It has 3 dimensions, length, width, and height. It is 3-dimensional.